Hello and welcome. I am Michelle Fishering, regenerative entrepreneur and CEO and founder of Maven Impact Consulting. As per usual, I'm coming to you in a pre-recorded video. My rural internet does not allow for very good quality live streams. So if you are here, I appreciate it. And even though this is pre-recorded, I really love your engagement and would love to engage in any dialogue or answer any questions that you might have. So please still leave a DM. Send me a DM or leave a comment below. I would definitely love to hear your thoughts. Okay. So today we're going to dive into discussing a little bit more about what it means to be a better business. So I use that language in when I describe what I do with other businesses and how I help businesses. I help businesses become better businesses. And so I help people create better businesses or build better businesses. And I use that terminology because I love the way that I want to be better. I want to have a better business, better for people, better for the planet, better for my profits. Like I want to have a business that is better for me. Also, sorry for the noise. I have some work being done in my house, so there's a little bit of background noise. Anyway, okay, so today I'm going to talk about 6 traits of a better business, and there are others, but these I think are some of the real hallmark traits that I would qualify. So a better business has made a commitment to showing up. So whether that commitment is pursuing a third-party certification or verification, like that you're pledging 1% of your profits, like the 1% to the planet, or you've pursued a B Corp certification, or you have come out and publicly committed to meeting one or more of the, or working towards one or more of the Sustainable Development Goals that the UN has established. There's lots of ways that you can make that commitment, but committing to it in a public way, to stand up and say that I want my business, like this business is about more than just making profit. And it's about more than just serving clients, because lots of great businesses serve their customers and their clients in a great way. But a better business goes beyond that, to look at how they can serve all the stakeholders, and that includes your community and the planet. So that commitment to really showing up, and whatever that commitment looks like to you, if you've made that commitment, that's the first trait of a better business. So the second trait is cultivating awareness. So the trait is the awareness. So by cultivating awareness, it's basically awareness of how you make decisions, awareness around what impact you actually have. So I cannot tell you how many business owners and entrepreneurs I speak to that don't even really realize that their businesses have an impact. You know, maybe they're online based, and so they don't see, like, we don't have an office space. My employees are remote. We are service based, you know, not product based. So how can we have an impact? We don't have an impact. Well, you do have an impact. We all do. And so cultivating awareness around what that impact is and what that looks like, and how you can shift from maybe a negative impact or a neutral impact into a truly positive impact. Another element of awareness, again, is that decision making. So awareness around the fact that the decisions that you make create your impact. And so it's understandable that sometimes you might make a decision, you might know that you're making a decision that is not the best, you know, let's say environmentally. I like to use the example that as an individual, I am a massive reader, and I read several books a week. And although sometimes I try to read on my Kindle, I really can only read like super light, fluffy, fun reading on my Kindle. Anything else or like a book I've really been looking forward to reading has got to be physical. Like I've got to hold that physical book in my hands. I just cannot, the experience, I can't do it otherwise. And so for me, I understand that I'm making a choice to buy a physical book that takes resources to produce it. It takes resources to ship it. It is probably not the most environmentally friendly choice, but I make it knowing that, like, in the awareness of what that choice means. And if when we operate from that place, rather than a place of not even of burying our heads in the sand and saying, like, I don't even want to think about what my impact is, or I don't even want to think, like, my decisions don't matter because I'm just one person. Your decisions do matter. And awareness around that is like cultivating that awareness. You're never going to be perfect, but it's a know better, do better situation. So awareness is an important part of cultivating that. Continually cultivating that awareness, and just being open to learning more about what our impacts are, like what they actually are, and how we can continually grow and do better. Okay, so I'm going to move on from awareness. So the next one is a powerful purpose. So a better business has a powerful purpose that drives it. And that powerful purpose is basically, I like to describe it as your why. It's why your business exists, the reason, like your reason for being as a business. And because I always like to describe it, your powerful purpose is like what's written on your soul, like that thing that is like, this is why I do this. This is why this business exists. And just like a human soul, just like a snowflake, like no two can be exactly the same. So if your purpose sounds like someone else's purpose, then you haven't dug deep enough. And this is different from mission and vision, which can be more like sort of how and the strategic and what you want the world to look like once you've accomplished your mission. And, so I'm not going to go into that hugely here. I'll do that on another video where I'll go through more specifically like the mission, vision, and purpose and like the difference between those. But purpose is that deep level why, that driver, that thing that cannot be separated from the reason for existence, the reason for the business's existence. And in a smaller business or in entrepreneurship, that purpose is often the driving purpose of the business, but also of the founder. So if you are in that position, it's going to be a deep dive for you. If you have a bigger company, a bigger team, it's a bigger organization or more established, you've been around longer, it might be more of you as an individual have a powerful purpose, and then your company has a powerful purpose. And those two things might be tangential, but separate or different. Okay. And so a powerful purpose just provides so much direction. It provides the thing that team members and customers and clients and suppliers and vendors and community can all rally behind. And it makes things very clear. So a powerful purpose is the thing that can make very clear whether or not you're on the right track. And it can, like, a powerful purpose can really help make it clear that, like, this is an action I have to take. So it can make that decision-making process a little bit more clear for you, because if it is not aligned with that powerful purpose, then you need to revisit it. I mean, it's a great way to revisit whether or not your strategy is aligned with your deep level why. If you need more information on why your why is so important, Simon Sinek has done incredible work, which most people, I think, in the online space or in the business space are familiar with. But Start With Why is an excellent book, and his TED Talk is beautiful. So apply all of that about why is important to a powerful purpose, and you've got your answer. Okay, so the next trait of a better business is activating your values. So lots of businesses establish core values when they get started. And core values are great. I'm a big supporter and big believer in having values. The problem is that the issues of values fall into a couple of camps. One, you maybe have identified values that are more aspirational than core. And so there are things that you'd like to do, like this is how you'd like your business to show up, but maybe it doesn't. And then another issue can be that you've established values that are basically like, in his book, The Advantage, Patrick Lencioni calls them pay to play values. So I'll use that terminology because my mind is drawing a blank on anything better, but it's basically like the bare minimum, like honesty, integrity. These are things that it's like, if you're a good human, this is how you show up. If you're just like, if you're being ethical, at the bare minimum of ethical, you are honest and you have integrity. So these are values that aren't really core values. They just sound nice and are often a little bit of a cop out, in that it's just like makes you feel good. Like, okay, I've verbalized that this is a thing that we do. Okay, so the other problem with values is often that even if you've established core values, like real core values that truly define how you and your team show up, are you activating them? So are you actually using them in your business? Are you using them to manage your business? Do you filter things through your values? So I've spoken to a business owner previously. He's the president of a B Corp. And when he talks about why they pursued B Corp status, it was because of their values. They couldn't not, because their values told them they had to. When you are managing team, if a team member, even if they're great at their job, if they are not aligned with the values, like let's say that team is some way of talking to a team is an important value for you in your company, and this person's not a team player, it doesn't matter how good they are at their job. They're not a good fit for your company. And this element ties into the next aspect, or the next trait of a better business, which is that a better business consciously creates and reinforces culture. So culture is not something that just happens. Well, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. Culture is something that will just happen. Culture exists no matter what in your company. And it's up to you whether you just let it become whatever it wants to be, or if you consciously, as a leader, you consciously create that culture and then reinforce it by onboarding team members into that culture, and by onboarding clients and customers into that culture. Your audience, like if you're not constantly cultivating and reinforcing your culture, it's going to be created in a way that might not be aligned with what your business is trying to do. So culture, huge, super important, and it has a ton of downstream effects on your business and how your business operates in the day-to-day and on your overall impact. So conscious culture is a really important trait of a better business. And I'm going to try to wrap up here. So I'm going to go really quickly and address the last point, which is an orientation to doing good and creating value. So I talk a lot about that, a lot about creating value. I'm not going to go into a too deep a dive here because I'm running out of time. So, but that orientation to doing good, to creating value, as not just a means to the end of creating profit, but that doing good and creating value for the stakeholders in your business is an end in and of itself. And that's that view, that stakeholder and value view of your business will result, like profits will be a long-term result of that, but that's not why you're doing it. So a better business doesn't create value and do good in the world in order to make more profits. It's a happy side effect, but there's a motivational difference between those two elements. So, okay, so those are the 6 traits of a better business. Thank you so much for joining me today. I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on this subject down below. And if you are interested in learning more about any of this, please join me in my masterclass. The link is here. It's upcoming in a couple weeks, and we are going to deep dive into all of this goodness. All right, thank you so much. Have a good day.